has time.
No hesitation, no doubts.
That's it?
That's it.
I got it. Now a word from Ron and Fez.
Prescription is more cowbell. I could have used a little more cowbell. I gotta have more cowbell. You should probably give him more cowbell.
Just right. Buddies!
Oh, buddies, it's the Ron and Fez show. I'm Ron. There's my best pal, Fez.
Hiya, buddies.
And we're ready to get this Monday night show started, Fezzy.
Kicking off the week, President Bush endorsed the idea of a national intelligence director who will oversee all 15 intelligence agencies.
Now, did you have a chance to see his lawn press conference today?
No, but I did see him. I saw a picture of him lined up with the Thunderbirds, I think it was. It was the Rogues Gallery altogether.
It seemed like either he was really tired or he didn't necessarily like the idea. He was very monotonous through the whole thing. We're doing our best to stop terror. We're going to do everything we can to stop these people who hate our way of life. And I'm like, do they have Laura? Is that why you're forced to say this, sir? Just wink if that's what's going on.
Which one behind him was pulling the strings?
The best thing that I heard him say the whole time was Al-Qaeda. Al-Qaeda is out there, Fezzy.
All right, now that's the name of his burrow at the Crawford Ranch. And he's getting confused again.
And, you know, this is a word that you should have down by now. Just whatever you decide to call it, the rest of us will. But you can't shake it up every time we look at you.
Afghanistan. Araku. It's but you're right. By now he should learn. It's odd that this is the first president in history that needs someone to be in charge of intelligence.
Yeah, well, it's not his fault. He was actually forced. His hand's been forced on this one.
He's also going to get a director of shoe tying and a math czar.
So why do we need Tom Ridge now? That's what I don't understand. Is this Tom Ridge's boss? What the hell's going on with this guy?
Yeah, Tom Ridge, well, President Bush doesn't want this new guy, the intelligence czar, in the White House. He wants it to be its own separate department. That's not a cabinet-level position.
Right.
Because he goes that way. He goes, if he's in the White House, then I can hire him and I can fire him. For some reason, he starts to talk like Bill Parcells.
So he's saying, don't trust me on this one?
Yeah, he's saying, keep it out of the White House. That way, he doesn't have the right to just go, all right, you're fired because I don't like the intelligence I'm getting.
Is it possible for this guy to reach you at any point since he's now no longer... Let's keep him in, let's say, Nebraska.
He doesn't want anything to do with this guy. You do your job, I'll do my job. You just keep your distance, and everyone will be happy in D.C.
Now, Tom Ridge, speaking to him, the big rumor is he's going to step down after the election. I guess it's been rough 2 years on him? Yeah. I can't understand. I mean, I don't know how hard these jobs are when the president appoints you, but it's very rare for anybody to feel like they can go wait.
He says he's worn out and he needs to really start earning some money to put his kids through college. And I guess, Homeland Security Secretary doesn't pay that well.
I guess it pays like crap. So where does he expect to make his money? Speaking about his 2 years. That's what kills me. They all want to go out and get the big paydays speaking about the job.
This is their version of a TV show going into syndication.
Don't you wish that most of us could be able to lose our job or quit our job and then go out and do after-dinner speeches on just what it's like to be a spot welder? Oh, yeah, it gets pretty hot in there. You got to keep the welding helmet on. That's for sure. You'll go blind if you don't look through that glass.
He's got a cabinet position now. Before that, he was governor of Pennsylvania. I don't see where that was going to pay all the more.
I don't know what you say to the people of Pennsylvania after they've made you the governor, when you just turn around and say, although you elected me in a close race, I decided to move on with a new position. I would be like, what the hell are we, dirt here? And New Jersey's governor did it, Pennsylvania's governor did it, and then they don't even hang in that long.
Yeah, and it's going solo. You're there, you make it with a group, and then all of a sudden you want to cut a solo album.
Yeah, but what are they supposed to do now? Have another election or just go with your second Louis?
Yeah, they always get stuck with a really dopey lieutenant governor. It happens every time.
Yeah.
Some guy, named Buddy or something. And,
hey, this is great.
who looks good on a ticket. He's friendly enough. He shakes enough hands. He eats the pancakes.
Well, just remember, you never really go out and go, let me take a look at the second lieutenant governor here. That's when I'll decide where my vote goes.
But you never get a president that does that. You know what? I've got a really good opportunity.
Fuzzy, Howard Dean said that it's hard to tell how much of the terror threat is real and how much is just politics, claiming that every time something goes bad for the president, he plays the trump card of terrorism. Is this true, Fez? Do you think that's the angle on this, or is people just being paranoid?
This is usually how I feel, because usually, I'm saying usually because of this latest example, which is an exception. When the terror threat comes out, you have either Tom Ridge come out and do it, John Ashcroft come out and do it, and then nobody knows anything. Even, Homeland Security, the last time this happened, they didn't know their boss was coming out and doing this.
Yeah, but the difference here is this is the most specific they've ever been. They gave out addresses. I don't know what more you could want from them.
Yeah, this is finally they're doing. Everyone's in on this one. Everyone knows the exact buildings. The people in New York, New Jersey, and D.C. all know exactly what the specifics are.
So do you feel like this is the real deal then?
I feel this is a real one.
Now, I was listening to Don and Mike when I was coming in here, Fez, and it's one of those things where you start talking back to the radio like one of the idiots, Yeah, that's exactly right. Because they went with the angle of, now you have to put up with the local news who take this information and start to try and pound you to the point of panic when they start to do those, is your house equipped to handle an attack? Is your children's school prepared for anthrax? And after a while, you start to take this, here's a warning, and find yourself getting very, very scared over it.
This is what they do, and what happens is people start going to the Home Depot and emptying out the plywood and the duct tape again, and it's not going to help you.
Like that, yeah, like that's going to do any good at all against nukes. Well, we've got the duct tape up, honey. I think we're more than safe. Better get some DVDs because the cable might go out.
And don't worry, I've got all this water. This water will save us.
Yeah, I don't know how much water they think people drink, but they go and buy an awful lot when they're scared.
Oh, water's just the answer to anything, whether it's weight loss or dirty bomb attack. Water seems to be the answer to everything. The Bush administration is now mad at the South Park boys, Matt and Trey. They've got a new film called Team America World Police coming out that pokes fun at the war on terror.
Have you seen the trailer yet, Fez?
No.
I saw the trailer. It's all done with those marionette puppets. And they're fighting terror, but everybody's a marionette puppet.
Well, I like those things.
Now, with this, do you think terrorism can be funny?
I don't think terrorism is funny, but it is definitely ridiculous. It's ridiculous when you see...
Yeah, but why do these guys always feel like they can cross the line? Their whole thing is they're attacking Janine Garofalo, they're attacking Clooney, anyone who spoke out against the war, and then, of course, the people that were for the war. But they're giving their opinions. Why did the South Park guys get away with everything and then make fun of people who do the same exact deal?
Maybe it's because they're animated, and people just don't take the cartoons as seriously. That's their medium for protest.
Even when they do regular ones, it's animated. That's the problem. If they do a regular movie like that basketball, it still comes off as it's animated.
Matt Drudge is reporting that the GOP is pushing to get rid of the IRS and replace it with a national sales tax.
Now we're talking, Fezzy. There's some crazy ideas I'm ready to hear about. Way to go, Republicans.
This works for me. I don't buy anything. I buy food, and that's probably about it. You wouldn't get much tax money out of me.
Yeah, but how is this going to work out? I mean, now is a sandwich going to cost you $18? Is that the deal?
Yeah, because there'll be several taxes on that sandwich.
Yeah.
There'll be like the bread tax, the tax that goes along with the bread, the meat, and the mayo.
Yeah, but what do you think a gallon of milk is going to cost us if this thing goes down? Is it just going to be $42 for milk?
Yeah, it'll sky high. Yeah, it'll go huge.
So what's your feeling on it? Is this a way to go? Is it going to be too crazy? Or is this just a pipe dream and can never happen?
There's no way they're going to change the IRS. There's no way that's going to happen. And it'll look nuts to people when you see the $42 gallon of milk and people go, wait a minute, I thought this was going to help us.
So that you're saying would keep people from buying. Be bad for the economy. I love the idea that somebody's even thinking about just making some changes. Yeah, I don't like the idea of the $42 gallon of milk, but I do like the system that we have, it doesn't seem to be working. What else can we do?
A bloodied Mike Tyson got knocked out in the 4th round by Danny Williams on Friday night.
All right, Fez, I remember your radio psychic from the other night.
Radio psychic.
You had Tyson in 1. I say if it goes over 3 rounds, Tyson loses.
So I think that would go to you.
Like every other radio psychic. Here's the problem for us, Fez. We saw Tyson fight in his heyday. It's hard for us to believe the guy is totally washed up. It reminds you of like that guy in your neighborhood that could kick everybody's ass, but then he becomes a junkie, and you're still like, I'm a little bit afraid of that junkie. I saw him knock out somebody when I was in 11th grade. You really find it hard to get it through your head that Tyson can't fight anymore.
Well, it's hard to imagine him being 38 years old, and he faces the problems of a 38-year-old in the ring where, like, a knee goes out. You know, before, that's something Tyson probably wouldn't have had to worry about.
Well, the way he's getting knocked down anymore, I'm sure the knees grow out all the time. His knee goes out because somebody popped him in the forehead. That's why his knee went out.
And he bleeds so much anymore.
All you got to do is really bleed once. That's all it takes. After that, you're a bleeder. Ask Chuck Wepner what happens once that stuff over your eyes starts to go bad on you, starts to scar up.
So getting a tattoo in the face probably didn't help a bleeding problem at all.
Yeah, but he does. He looks great. He looks fantastic.
It looks like it's wearing off. It didn't look. It looked nearly as prominent in the pictures I saw of the fight.
Well, what would that be, from sun? I mean, normally your tattoo's not that exposed like it would be on your face, right?
Yeah, so it probably is just getting exposed.
And I thought that was only half a tattoo. I thought he was going to get the rest of the face done.
He was. That was supposed to end up being like a Mardi Gras mask and go down the other side.
Then he decided, that'll look stupid on me. I'll just have a half a mask.
Then he'll end up looking like one of Michael Jackson's kids. Fox is planning its counterprogramming against the Olympics. It plans a Family Guy marathon, plus encores of Man vs. Beef and Beast. I'm hungry tonight.
It's the Man vs. Beef. The Fez Whatley story, every time he goes out to a steakhouse with an 82-ounce porterhouse.
Put your money on the Man. Man vs. Beast and celebrity boxing.
Well, these are all reruns. So how's that counter-programming? We've got some stuff from the past. You might as well be saying you're TBS.
Family Guy isn't even on Fox anymore. It's only on DVD at this point. So now they're going to do that and just hope that, people would rather see athletes compete against elephants than actual other athletes.
Yeah, no one's going to watch this. Everybody likes to watch this stuff when it first comes out. But nobody wants to see old celebrity boxing. If you put on, like, Tyson Holyfield, people wouldn't watch it.
See, that's what the packaging is like. They're like, okay, we've got an idea. If you don't want to sit there and watch the Olympics, we've got these great shows. But they're not bothering to put any money into it whatsoever. It's just a pretty package.
It's the same thing every year when they go, if you don't want to watch the Super Bowl, we've got fun stuff. You're out of your... What human being doesn't want to watch the Olympics? It's the biggest sporting event in the world that we participate in, and then we can sit around and watch it while it's happening. Of course you'd rather watch that than old Family Guy episodes.
And I think it's, 1,200 hours of coverage?
I can't wait. I'm going to watch every single minute of it. I will not miss a minute of Olympic coverage.
I like this because it involves everything. It's all the NBC networks. Then you're bringing in Telemundo and everyone else.
Yeah, but the problem with that is you got to pick what channel you're on. Am I watching archery? Have I moved over to the marathon? So you can't watch it all at the same time unless you're sitting somewhere in some TV store.
Paris Hilton has been photographed recently with bruises on her arms and face and with a fat lip.
Sounds like somebody got backstreeted. That's the rumor. That's what the New York Post said, that Nick Carter had to whack her hard.
Yeah, I saw the New York Post put that out, and then I haven't seen anyone else definitely say that other than the New York Post said.
Just forget who else gets into it, and just enjoy the fact that maybe Nick Carter hit a woman. The Backstreet Boy, the sweet little blonde kid, punched the heiress. You got to laugh at that.
That's amazing that you would actually get rough and physical with Paris Hilton if you're not making a video.
It's got to be the easiest woman in the world to beat up. It's like beating up a swan. She's so thin. It's like punching a flamingo.
I have a feeling he got into another one of his temper tantrum crying raids.
Yeah.
And just started swinging wildly, maybe doing a dead arm run, and she got caught in the windmill effect.
All right, here's my radio psychic.
Radio psychic.
She had it coming. That's all I'm saying. I've watched that show. She's got it coming.
Nick Cage, he got married for the third time. He married Alice Kim, a 20-year-old former sushi waitress.
All right, so you marry a movie star, you marry a rock star, a pseudo-rock star, and now a sushi waitress. This must be some great sushi.
He's moving on up. He's like the Jeffersons.
Have you seen her? She's beautiful?
Yeah, she's very cute. Alice Kim. Yeah, she's very cute. And where would you put them on the divorce court calendar? How long's this one going to last?
This one, I think, has got a chance to make it because, she's married to Nick Cage. It's not somebody who's got her own thing going. What is she going to do? Go back to slapping down sashimi?
I think he gets into this fads, like with Lisa Marie. Big Elvis Presley fan, Nick Cage.
Yeah.
Who
is it? Who wouldn't marry Lisa Marie if they didn't have the opportunity? Now even her daughter, everybody's excited about.
Now his latest thing that he's into is sushi, so he marries Alice Kim. It all depends on what he's into at the moment. Pretty soon he's going to get tired of eating sushi, and he's going to move on to someone else.
Fezzy, unlike you, most guys never get tired of eating sushi. That's all I'm going to say.
A 15-year-old boy was injured last week at Michael Jackson's Neverland Ranch when the ATV he was riding flipped over.
Right. That's a nice way to put it.
He fell on his ass.
Yeah, my ass is bruised from an ATV accident. Yeah, that's what it was. ATV on the butt.
Does everyone have the story straight now? Yeah. Before we go out and pictures start being taken.
Here's what I love about this story. These stupid people, are still dropping their kids off at Michael Jackson's house. Then they're going to want to use the abuse charges later. The parents are abusive. If you're dropping your kid off at a place that people think is a pedophile, you're a terrible parent.
And then what happens is the kid ends up leaving like Paris Hilton, looking like her, all bruised up, beaten up by a Backstreet Boy. And, Michael Jackson, why are you still having kids over at the house? You know what happens every time you have a kid over.
He loves the children's all over. See, I didn't have a childhood myself. That's always what it comes back to, the fact that he didn't have a childhood. And, when this started, like about 84, when he started to act like, I need to go to Disneyland all night because I had to work when I was a kid, I kind of bought into that story and thought, yeah, go do the kid stuff. But he's never moved on. Let's say in 84, he was acting like he was 11. He'd be 31 now. And that's too old to be playing with other children. At some point, you got to say to yourself, why I was behaving like I was 10, I missed out on being 23. And he should start throwing frat parties or something. All right, we're going to take a break, Fezzy. I'll be back in just a few moments. What do we got to talk about?
Coming up, the Edwards had their big anniversary dinner.
Beautiful. Back in just a few moments. It's the Ron Fez Show.